hit the ball over the screen.
And just push the screen in, it should be at the bottom of it. Right there.
Solid 3 months. I worked the turkey trot this year, so that was awesome.
Okie doke. Ready for those 60-yarders?
I got a 56.
That's not bad.
Go ahead, Steve. I have a 60, but I don't use it.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to discuss the shot in question here, the less than full shot from 100 yards and in. So for this shot, we'll say we're 60 yards from the green, no bunkers in front of us, the pin's right in the middle of the green. So we don't have to go too high or too low with this shot. A nice mid-trajectory lob shot will do. So a few setup tips with this shot. A nice normal stance, about shoulder width apart. We want our feet slightly open to the target, okay? Now, when we set the club to the ball, we want the club in the forward part of our stance. A lot of players have the tendency to play this shot too far back, which creates a steep swing plane with this shot. We don't want to be too steep. So, up in the stance, right up the logo on your shirt would be just about fine. And then the key to this shot is impact with the ball. So we want to set the golf club up on the bounce. Okay, we don't want the leading edge to be too active in the shot. We want the bounce of the club to skim across the ground and through the ground if we take a divot. Kind of like skipping a rock along the lake. All right? So we'll go ahead and try that. I'll watch your setup here, Steve.
Perfect.
That was good. That was really good. That's the 60 you said, right?
It was a 56.
56, okay.
Every time I heard you say that, it's perfect when I'm playing the league.
Sorry. It's 54, it might knock it down just a couple degrees.
On the green.
On the green, that's what we want.
91.
That's fine. So let's try, if that's like a 3/4 swing,
Yep.
try to do a little half, like more of a punchy swing here.
But, you know, it's still the distance you're looking to get, the 60, 60-something yarder.
Perfect. And ideally that ball's gonna have some spin and come back towards the flag, right?
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
This is probably the most difficult shot for me sometimes, for a lot of players.
So let's talk our way through setup here. So feet about
So
shoulder
as
width
you
apart.
said, you know, then that's what I've been doing, kind of up in my stance.
Yep, up in your stance. Is that a new thing for you, or have you done that before?
Typically, I put the ball in the middle of my stance
Okay.
on the irons, but, you know, sand trap is a little bit different. So this is about a 100-yard club for me. I try to take a 3/4 swing.
What's the total on that? 94?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it should feel like that.
Right. Okay, so let's, you said that was about a 3/4 swing there?
I would think.
All right, so.
But I had no height on that either.
Yeah, so I might have chased a little bit on the ground, a little thin. A good reference point in the swing on the short shot. You said that's your 100-yard club.
Right.
So if you swing full and come through full, that's 100 yards, right? So what's about halfway in the swing? Probably parallel to the ground, where my hips are about,
Yeah.
my hands are about hip high.
Maybe here?
Yep. Okay, so if we swing through there, abbreviate the follow through on the way through, that should be about 50 yards, right?
Yeah.
So using that reference point, try to hit this 50, 60 yarder. Good. That's clean. That looks like 50, 60 yards.
Yeah, sure does.
Survey
But it
says
still
62.
It still says it doesn't seem like it, you know, goes, I guess I don't need to worry about it height-wise.
Trajectory?
Yeah,
That trajectory looked fine. That was a little higher. It seems like you caught that one more in the middle of the club face.
Yeah.
The other ones might have been a little
58.
towards the toe and low on the club face to keep them low.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you one more little tip here, and I want you to try to incorporate this into your next shot. So you're doing a good job with ball position, stance, right? Our posture looks good. I want you to try to weaken your grip, meaning I want you to move your hands left on the grip, right? Yep, just like that. So you'll notice if I weaken my grip, the club head is going to start to point out behind the ball and towards my right. So if I do that, that encourages the bounce of the club to be more active in this shot. I want you to feel the bounce of the club really hitting this mat. Good. You can tell by the sound the club makes with the mat that the bounce was used more in that shot. Yeah. Yeah. All right, sweet. That was good. Oh, teaching aid time. All right. Jim?
Yes.
You're up with this one.
Oh, excellent.
This is going to be fun. And this will actually really help you with that movement that we talked about
Yep.
with the line.
So, taking full swings with this thing, or what are we doing?
Before we do anything with the golf ball, go ahead and get used to that training aid being on the club. The idea is at the top of the swing, go ahead and take it back and pause.
So is that supposed to be on me already?
Nope, not
Oh,
quite.
okay.
Go ahead and take it back to the top and pause. So the top of the swing, we want this brace on the forearm, and that angle that we talked about is built in.
Okay.
Now as we come down, what I want you to do is keep that brace on your arm until halfway down, at which point it can come off as you release the club, okay?
Okay.
So before we hit the golf ball, go ahead and take some rehearsal practice swings. Get an idea of where that training aid's getting your arm at the top of the swing, and then try to keep it there. Good. How's it feel? Pretty weird the first couple times, though.
What does it feel like? Should I rotate that in?
Good. Much better. Alright, let's see how you do with the golf ball in front of you. Hey, look at that. I'll sell you that thing.
It hasn't produced any results yet. I've hit the mat every time.
How does it feel at the top of the swing? Does it, besides it feeling foreign and on the club,
Yeah, it just
you get an idea of where it's picking you up, and that's locking your
your
wrists
right.
and the angle that we're looking for to create lag. And that's kind of hard to create lag with a pitching wedge, but you can see it. Good. Yeah. The idea is the club will feel very stable at the top of the swing,
Yep.
and it's going to prevent you from being too shallow or laid off with the club this way, or too over the top, too steep. Right? Talking about swing plane, this really helps you get onto the correct plane.
What is it like 80?
All right, one more.
Oh, really?
Actually, I won't torture you anymore with that thing. All right, Steve, you're up. 8 iron, 7 iron. That's fine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what do you want?
8 iron, 7 iron, anything really. You wanted to get the lower body incorporated more. This is good. So, this segment is where you do a practice recommendation. So what we'll talk about is
You know he's not playing.
something you can do without a golf ball, and then something you can do while you're practicing. So we talked about, Steve, using your lower body more in the golf swing, getting your lower body activated to work in unison with your upper body. And you did a good job of that when hitting balls. But I want to show you a few drills that you can do without even hitting a golf ball, and you really don't even need a club. A club does help. So what I want you to do with a club is lay it across your shoulders. Okay. Go ahead and assume your posture, the good golf stance that we like. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and tell me. Okay. And this drill is very effective if you're standing in front of a mirror. So what I want you to do is go ahead and turn back off the ball, like you're taking your backswing. Good. And the idea is to get the grip pointing 90 degrees, right? So you want that pointing at the mirror that you're looking at. And then from there, you want to push through the shot, just like we're swinging. And you want the club head, or this end of the club, facing off to the right. We want that past 90 degrees, past the tee or where the ball would be on the ground. All right, so go ahead and do that again. Good. Good. So if we do this enough, we'll be able to translate this movement into our swing when we're hitting a golf ball. And I think you're ready to do just that. Good. Shot, how'd that feel? One more, but I'm going to change it up a little bit on you. When you turn back, I want you to pause for a couple seconds at the top of the swing. Now, a couple seconds is going to feel like an eternity, but from there, I really want you to swing through and then pause once you get to the finish, okay? And check and see how your balance is through the swing.
Well, I'll see you. Oh, you're getting out.
It's one thing to get our lower body moving, but if you do it, you know, that in excess, that'll really help or prevent our balance from, you know, staying through the swing. How'd that feel at the top? It looks stable from my end.
I felt loose coming down.
Okay. Let's try that same thing again.
At the top, it felt fine, but as soon as I started coming down, I felt loose.
Okay.
I don't think I made good contact at all.
So when you come down on this one, I want you to feel the club staying in front of your chest. You did a good job of getting off the ball, and then you paused at the top of the backswing. Now when you come down, I want the club to stay in front of your chest through the swing, and then pause at the finish. Okay? Good. Much more stable there. So now you're doing a good job of getting off the ball and using your lower body to create speed, right? Moving through the ball and maintaining your balance while doing that. Nice. You got, yeah, hold it out. It feels weird pausing at the top. Right?
It does, yeah, but that's a good, I'm gonna practice that.
All right, cause and effect. So tempo is going to be good on this 1 iron, and Tom, you're up. We're gonna work on tempo for you too. So we're gonna do some cause and effect with tempo.
Hey, you go ahead.
Any club, 8 iron works. We'll do both of you up here if you want to get in the shot too. right, so we've been working on swing tempo for this segment of the lesson, and we want to talk cause and effect with swing tempo. Now, cause, if I swing too fast, what does that lead to, or what can it lead to with the ball flight, the result of the shot?
Spell it, get it way offline.
A lot of bad things can happen, right? So,
Duck hooks.
yeah, duck hooks, wide rights,
Absolutely. Duck
low
hooks.
high, we could miss the ball. That's not going to happen here. All right, so if we employ good swing tempo, our chances of consistent and crisp contact are increased certainly. All right. So I want to see you really focus on good swing tempo in this shot, and let's see how that affects our impact. Good. Pretty silky.
Yeah.
That's Fred Couples there.
He's getting ready for a golf vacation. That's what that looks like.
Same thing?
Yep. Yeah, if you can replicate that swing, put it in the bottle and sell it. Good. All right, Tom.
I pulled out the driver with my
like
ball.
I think it's pretty much the exact same distance.
Yeah. No, 66 was the first
First
one.
one, there's my ball right there, 3 feet away.
Yeah. Alright, so
All right, so talking cause and effect.
yeah.
If we swing this driver too fast, our chances of contact being where we want it are pretty slim to none, right?
Right.
So show me a good tempo with the driver, good practice swing. Okay. One more time. All right, so you feel comfortable if you use that tempo with the ball in the way of that driver, you're gonna like it.
I hope so.
Let's see. I think you will. Good. On this shot, this next swing, I want you to be a little more deliberate in the transition. So when we transition from the top of the swing to the downswing, I want you to slow that down a little bit. I don't want you to think about being slow, but just be a little more deliberate and aware of where the club is at the top of the swing, okay? All right. How'd that feel?
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, it's happened.
All right, one more. Pay attention to where the club is, where the club face is pointing at the top of the swing.
I think we outdrove each other.
I think that was a total mishit.
I think we found the real problem in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Needs another Bud Light over here.
Concentration.
Got all that one. Bounce all the way back over here.
Yeah, it went nowhere.
Let's get one to read on this. That one show up?
See, there's the lack of lack
That's
of
all right.
consistency.
Alright, you're on the first tee at Leon
Alright.
on a nice hot summer day.
That doesn't happen for me.
Or a nice rainy fall day. Doesn't like you right now.
Yeah. I'll try it one more time.
Alright, last one, do or die.
That's one.
You said with the driver, the tempo kind of spikes a little bit. You swing a little
Yeah, I get a little
harder
excited.
than you want to. All right. Good shot. You said you like to think of a song when you swing. Do you have a song that you always go to, or is it changed?
It changes.
What's on the playlist these days?
Probably Pink Floyd's Money.
Perfect. That's a nice rhythmic song, a lot of percussion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's think about Pink Floyd Money on this one. Good. Nice high draw.
That's all I know how to do.
How fast? The other one was 282.
Let's see what the total distance on this one is. How did your tempo feel on that one compared to the shot prior?
It felt pretty good.
Yeah? Were you more aware of the
Ceiling
tempo?
first.
So let's talk about how tempo keeps the swing in proper sequence.
Mhm.
Now, what do you think about when you come off of the ball, the initial takeaway from the
My
golf
thing
ball?
is take it away slow.
Slowly, okay.
Because
Slow and
what I
steady
tend to
going
do is
back.
just get quick.
To
and
snatch
then
it.
end up-
Right. Okay, so
just
slow
try
and
to keep it
steady to
slow.
the top of the swing, and then from there, what do you think about?
Rep.
Let it rip? Okay, good. That's fine. I always like to think about.
That's really, the first move is just get the left hip moving.
Right.
Get to the top and then
That's good.
start it.
And then everything unfolds and unwinds towards the target. The good thing to think about is, it's very basic, but you want the fastest part of the swing to be from here
Yep.
to here, right through the impact zone. Now that sounds so basic, but when you're swinging, a lot of players have a tendency to snatch the club off of the ball
Mhm.
or to swing from the top, right? We try to
Yep.
yank the club back down.
Yep.
Now, if we do that from the top of the swing, that makes it very hard for the club to be traveling at its
Mhm.
fastest through impact.
Sure.
Because the body has to take over, somehow stabilize that club in impact. Whereas if we
I
let
tend to get behind it.
Right.
I do that. I tend to get behind
and stuck,
and get stuck back there.
Mhm.
So then I have
that's
to
common
keep
for
my
a
face
lot
up
of
there.
players. So if you think about the club almost falling back towards the ground, the body rotating through towards the target, that allows the club to travel at its fastest right through impact.
Okay.
All right, one more. That's a bomb.
Well,
You're ready for that Arizona trip. Kind of looks like Arizona.
it's ready. It does. Looks like Palm Springs.